Hey, what's going on everyone? This is kind of a follow-up video to my last, 3 Sonic Frontiers videos that discussed content from Beta Kronos Island. I originally thought that I had enough to say when I made that video exploring the Beta Kronos Island, but since then a lot of stuff has dropped, including actual beta footage of Sonic Frontiers. And this isn't really necessarily a video to analyze the footage, because so many people have already done that, there wouldn't really be a point of me doing the same thing, but there are a lot of things from this bit of footage that they actually left remnants of in the final game. From the CG trailers to Rhea Island's ruins to the actual enemies, there's a lot in Frontiers that was left over from how Kronos once looked. So let's just go into this footage and see what we can find. First up, this shot. God damn, look how big this is. So I originally thought that the original Kronos Island was just, Kronos, Reya, and Ouranos mashed together, but apparently there's much more. If you actually boot up Frontiers right now and use some glitches to get way up into the sky, then you can see the outline of how Ouranos was supposed to connect to Kronos, but again, there's even more. So let's look off to the left first. What the hell is that? It looks like a giant thing is floating above the first section of Kronos that we visit in the final game. But you know what this kind of looks like to me? This looks like the Ancients world ship, which I already discussed all of that in my last video if you're interested, but I failed to mention that this could be it. This would actually line up with the playtesters mentioning that Sage and Sonic would go up to the ship, and this could also be why Sage mentioned it in those voice clips, so I guess that means that the world ship wasn't the original 4th island? Alright, let's go to the other side of the map. No, there's Supreme's arena, but what is going on here? So this could possibly be what the playtesters referred to as the thick fog that covered the first boss of the game until you collected all the Chaos Emeralds. And I guess this is a good time to discuss the end of this footage as we see the Giganto fight in Supreme's boss fight arena, which of course was originally where we were supposed to fight Giganto. And yeah, this lines up with pretty much everything. But you know what's even cooler? In the story trailer of Sonic Frontiers, we see multiple CG shots. And yeah, these look great, but when the game was released, I realized that some of these shots are kinda inaccurate to the game. So Sonic finds Amy in a forest area, but in the actual game, she's just kinda in the open. And Sage and Giganto are seen above some trees when in the final game that's just not a thing. But since Giganto's arena was originally surrounded by trees, then that leads me to believe that this CG was made well before the game was even released. It was made when Kronos was still one big giant island. That's just kinda cool to me. And speaking of CG footage, let's go back to the Game Awards trailer of Frontiers. What is shooting at Sonic here? Are these unused enemies, or what? Is the world ship shooting at Sonic? And why is Knight shown here but not Giganto? Was Knight supposed to be the first boss fight originally? There are still some unanswered questions about the CG footage from the trailer, so let's just go back to the normal gameplay stuff. So in the beta footage, we can see the caterpillar fight, but this time it takes place on Rhea Island. And if you couldn't tell, it has completely different methods of attacking Sonic. But you know what's cool? If you visit Rhea Island in the final game, you can find multiple ruined caterpillar guardians, and this could just be a coincidence, but it would be so cool if this was an Easter egg from the devs. After they split Kronos, they completely removed Caterpillar from Rhea Island, so the fact that this is here to reference that Caterpillar was once in this area is just such a cool idea, but again, I don't know if this is what was actually intended. Speaking of Rhea, can we just acknowledge how much is actually here? For real, this whole island could be considered a remnant from Beta Kronos. There's just so much to explore, but there's not really incentive to do so. Without memory tokens or other secrets to be found, there's really no reason to explore Rhea. At least they added music memories to some of the structures, but even with those, you're still missing out on a lot of things. I mean, damn, there's a whole ass village just chilling here that goes completely unutilized. There's just so much on Rhea that I feel could be used if it was turned into an actual island. Something weird I found while recording this video though is that there are 2 lone islands out in the distance. One of them is pretty reachable as a simple spin dash will do the trick. There's really nothing here though besides a booster that gets you back to the mainland, but there's another smaller island really far away. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that I did everything in my power to get over there. Now there's probably nothing over there, but there are hoops that when touched send you back to the bigger smaller island. But yeah, I think Rhea as a whole is just a big waste. They should have made it a part of Kronos or Ouranos at the very least. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this short video, guys. I really just wanted to make this as a follow-up to kind of close out the whole Kronos beta thing until more footage surfaces, or hell, maybe even an actual build. But I still think it's cool how even though things are different from how they originally were, there are still leftovers from before they changed everything, and that's just really cool to me. So yeah, that's just another video discussing some more cut content from Sonic Frontiers. Just much shorter this time. But as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.